folks, how you doing? Well, this is another Embargo Man video. Then what we're talking about is demonizing American history. So, I heard and I have seen so many videos, that have to be concerned about people demonizing American history, and then that certain people wouldn't be free. Well, I am going to use some words that actually will pop up and have a different meaning. For example, for some audiences, this is also concerns for you people, concerning about George Washington, concerning about why why certain people will never be free. Well, the U.S. as a country, as any great country, has its failures. It has its ups and downs. And for the meaning of not celebrating the 4th of July, that means that when we're going to celebrate 1865. For some of you folks, do you have your freedom back in 1865 when Abraham Lincoln was president? Yeah, he is admired. He is admired as a great president of that time. For like some folks, he was great at the time, but it seems that you want to throw away something about a poem by Frederick Douglass, and I have seen YouTube videos about this, about why those black folks don't celebrate the 4th of July or something like. Hold on a second. Hold on. That means the oppressors, the British oppressors, and we were like fight free from. I'm not talking about all Americans, black, white, whatever. That means that the British were the oppressors, and we get to fight against the people that oppress, the oppressors, the other one, and then we won the Revolutionary War, right? Same thing it is. I just came up from a country where they speak Spanish or something like, Spain, on the other hand, has help. And then for some of you wanna put this, we're never free, or we're never. Sorry about that, but hey, it takes us time. But then you come up with this thing, and you come up with this poem about the 4th of July for a Negro. Translate that in the Korean language, or some of you still want to make videos to demonize, and that, or all you have to do, what you doing is like, you let Koreans to toss the King of Spain on the side on the American history, and I could tell you what, King Charles III of Spain, he has nothing to do with sexual slavery. This is the reason why that for Japanese folks, remember people, even Japanese folks that know English and you're watching this video, thanks for joining. And this is concerned about American history, about the beginning, the birth of the United States. That, like the Japanese folks out there, they were all fed up for a story that was made up by a Chinese hoe. Like I'm telling you, a Chinese hoe. And this is the reason why you come up and saying, oh yeah, look at that. We were like you say, oh, we were slaves back then, and look. Well, some of these, the King Charles III has nothing to do with Asian sexual slavery, or especially Korean slavery, as what I'm about to do. But for a matter of fact, you come up and keep on making negative things about, why you slaving and stuff. Well, first of all, some of these slaves, or well, they were sent, even though Spain fought for the American Revolution, these slaves were sent working for the Spanish government. Why not just saying blame the Spanish government for working them and building the country? For a matter of fact, who were your slave masters? The soldiers or something? Yeah, and it is, but I could tell you one thing that was going on that has some people has fed up. People has been fed up, Japanese folks have been fed up of a made up story that is made up by a Chinese hoe during World War II in her, in her brothel, in a whorehouse, where all the hoes are there, and then they just pass out like victims, and also you might probably heard of the story. They even made statues, regarding with these Chinese hoes, the Chinese hoes that blamed the Japanese government during World War II. Then this is where it's going on to our government, to our country. They're gonna put up the King of Spain being up with saying that, oh yeah, we're never free. How the hell? Yeah, and that means, oh yeah, Koreans are not gonna celebrate the 4th of July because of the King of Spain. Yes, let me just put the deal and who they going to blame for and why they're going to blame a certain person, because of you people. Some of you people try to make them believe, and then we're gonna get all fed up. Not all Americans, or I think you're gonna join these people. You're gonna join your Korean brothers and sisters. For some of you people, you want to join your Korean brothers and sisters to believe this kind of bullshit that George Washington is doing dirty deals with the King of Spain, and then you could agree with these people, right? So you're dealing with this guy, right? So this is the person that you want to blame, right? So look at this. Is this man guilty of any crime, of anything dealing with George Washington on sexual slavery? This is what you're doing with this. For you people, for you bros, like you're trying to bash about American history. This is the guy that Korean folks are going to blame to. They're going to blame on him that he's going to make contracts with George Washington. The contract deal that they signed with the Spanish government, that they are doing a sex trade, sending Korean women to be sex slaves for the American patriots. Then you want to demonize this guy, right? This is George Washington. This is one of our founding fathers. So what you're going to do here is you're going to put him with a Spanish king. King Charles III of Spain, right? That this guy has signed a contract to, do sexual slavery trade, trading Asian women, especially Korean women, to be sent to America to be sexual slavery under the Spanish government, signing that kind of contract. Well, you're gonna make them look like a fool. This is the reason why I am doing this video, is to fight this kind of cause, that we're not gonna be in the same situation, on the same shit that these Korean people are blaming the Japanese for. So this is going to be changed in history books, right? This is King Charles III of Spain, and this other guy is George Washington, our founding father.
So this is the thing about the change in the constitution. You know about the Great Britain has been separated from the EU, and then what else? The unification of Korea will be under British control. So this is going to be this thing in history books, changing the constitution, twisting history around, making these two people, George Washington and King Charles III of Spain, as pimps, as people that trade women. I mean, that doing a sex trade on a Spanish ship. They went to Korea. That after they went to Korea, it goes to America, and these people do is sign a contract. And they said that these patriots or the white folks, European, rape Asian women, rape Korean women during the Revolutionary War, during the Independence Day from 1776 to 1783. This is what you're gonna face off in this thing. This is kind of bullshit at its best kind of form. This is a made up ship called Hibiscus Syriacus. Hibiscus Syriacus is a flower, a national flower of Korea. But this ship, has a blue and red yin yang. It's a Spanish ship that is says to be dating back from 1776. That this boat only carries women. What this boat carrying women for? Sex slaves. They were carrying sex slaves. Korean women to be sex slaves in America. And that is during that period of time. The contract that says as what it is, because this is total bullshit. This is what's going on. This is what is the best flattery or the best, it's form of hypocrisy that is made up by Koreans one of these days, that they gonna say to have this ship Hibiscus Syracuse Spanish ship from 1776, that this boat is in between a contract between George Washington and King Charles III of Spain. And that is going to go out to the Amendment 13, reviewing on voting in favor of voting a yes or in favor, like voting a yes or no. So this is what I don't want to see. Is this thing that happening? This is a made up ship that they will have and build up, and then they say, oh yeah, this ship is like around 420 years old. That's bullshit. Now, now this is it. This is what Amendment 13 is about. This is not a real amendment. This is what you have said for you people, and say for Japanese folks that you're looking at this right now. This is flattery. This is going to be a hypocrisy of people voting yes on this Amendment 13. This is going to screw the United States. This is going to look at us like we were trading sex slaves, Asian sex slaves from Korea, signing a contract with the King of Spain. King Charles III of Spain, just George Washington is a bad guy. Well, this is not going to happen, because I'm going to tell you why. And then this is what the reason is. For you Japanese folks, you got to deal with this kind of stuff about that during the World War II. That has never happened. This is going to happen to us. That this has happened during the Revolutionary War, during of 1776 to 1783. This is wrong. This is wrong history. This is a lie. This is blasphemy.
So, folks, this is one reason that I have made up this video, and I show you how things could get twisted for you folks. I mean, that is also one particular person, or no offense to, I mean, I'm just saying you come out and demonizing the American history of said like you have never have witnessed. Okay, what was the day of June of 1865? Like when for some of you, if we can get the freedom, we don't celebrate, what Abraham Lincoln has done. The free some of you guys from slavery and the cotton fields from the oppressors called the Confederate States during the American Civil War. Nowadays, you come up and deal with this thing. Why? Because it's freedom for not just white Americans, for everybody. This is what it is, that somebody has to make up some holiday about this incident in 1865, and then you come and celebrate that kind of thing, the liberation of 1865 or something like that. That's one thing, but then you just come up for some reason that first seriously. I know this is your enemy, is your friend. People who are ignorant, they were the ones that have dropped an atomic bomb on on Japanese folks. I mean, what are these Japanese Americans in concentration camps? And they have suffered of us seeing their families. Did they say any protests or anything? No. It is like they stay quiet and they know how to calm down. Just try to chill for some of you. Chill out for a moment and just relax and take it back. Just chill. You gotta learn from these folks, right? Some of you. And then what it is, for no offense to Korean folks, but this kind of Amendment 13 coming through as what it is about that has been set up in 1865 about slavery. They want to change this constitution. Twisting around and changing the constitution is something that I'm very afraid of, is that people who are really smart enough, then they have to face with this kind of deal. This sexual slavery thing is nothing new. It is nothing new, right? Even though the Spanish, kingdom, the Spanish Empire is known for doing bad shit, then this is where some of you folks say, oh yeah, we were never free. Yeah, this is video made by black folks or something. We were never free. We were in conflict. Yeah, it was slaves that are being enslaved for the Spanish government. That does not mean that King Charles III of Spain was making a dirty contract deal with George Washington for Korean sex slaves, right? And you keep on going, making videos, but I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to make sure that what you're going to see is, I know how it is, how these things come up surely, that this Frederick Douglass poem about the 4th of July would be translated in the Korean language. It will be translated in the Korean language, but is going to, lead the way of, might be a possibility, is there is something about, yeah, we're going to have noticed that what's going on, that you Korean folks might happen. You want to take this seriously, if you want to just bash on King Charles III of Spain for doing this kind of stuff, then how you blame Hirohito for the same thing. When you want to blame the Spanish government as of the the time of the era of the American Revolution for your own thinking that your own women being raped by the Spanish government, that George Washington has made a dirty deal and is a government hidden, then go ahead. You want to do it, then what it is that people would vote yes or no in this kind of amendment. To me, if this thing comes out in this sheet of paper and they have the yes, vote yes, because George Washington need to realize and all America need to realize that George Washington is not like the brightest guy or the greatest hero what America thought, because he dealing with the King of Spain on a sex trade, bringing Korean women to America to be sex slaves for the American patriots ordered by the Spanish government. And this is what it is, voting yes, and then the vote no. Now what I would do is I'm going to vote no. I'm going to vote no is because I know that this would be, I don't want to be ruined, that one of our founding fathers to be ruined his reputation, to toss the King of Spain around, King Charles III of Spain, blaming him for this kind of dirty deal because the Spanish government or the Spanish Empire was known through many history of doing all these bad stuff. They have raped natives. They have raped, black slaves, and then they come up and say if there's any history or any evidence of raping Korean sex slaves for American patriots, then this evidence is total bull. This is total bull. The same with the evidence of the comfort women of World War II with the Japanese government. You're gonna blame the Spanish government of the American Revolution. Blaming the Spanish government of the era of 1776 to 1783 is like they are doing the same evil as the Japanese government of World War II. Now, this is why I'm going to vote no. And Boondang Bear, you fat bastard, that you always want to say about the Lane Court rocks, and the situation, and then one thing is you voting yes, you're a fool. And then for you people voting yes because you believe in this kind of bullshit, then what would you go and do if that you are a bunch of BMFs? BMFs, because I know what kind of word means, because B means for and for for color, but then MF stands for motherfucker. Even the Korean motherfucker called Fans Rants and Bids and Embargo Man is an imbecile, hypocrite, whatever. You know that you might just say you're gonna vote yes, and you're gonna go and make up a video about America's piece of shit and all that stuff, because then you that person, you have bashed me. You bash me because you suck, and that's the reason I dislike your videos, and I don't like gonna hear you and all that stuff. And then that's another fool voting yes because some of you people are gonna join these fools. Even the Boondag Bear, that bastard, is going to go on the yes vote for Taniyama and what is, and even Random Yoko. This is like, I'm voting no, and I know this for this because you people has felt all this kind of fed up with this kind of bull from the Korean government of old Chinese women that might be Korean women that's passed away. They pass themselves as Korean victims. Same thing that this is going to happen to us. If this is going to happen to us, then people who are ignorant and they follow along with this kind of lies that they're going to put the King Charles III of Spain as a sex trade partner, a guy that did sex slave, did a dirty deal, a contract with George Washington for Korean sex slaves to America. This is kind of like, is because you people are the cheerleaders of the no vote of the of this amendment 13 of screwing up, of changing the Constitution. And then there might be a London Treaty that they might change it to the same date of the Paris Treaty of 1783. It's all like twist around, changing the Independence Day just to cater these Korean, people that want to change things as they have done to you for as they have done to you for a long time, since 1993 or 94, around there. You people, you folks that that you are our allies, even though we have nuked. I feel so sorry about this kind of stuff. But you know that these people are like following along, and they wanna get fooled, and then people love to get brainwashed, especially folks, that they're like joining in with these thing that trying to demonize. Oh yeah, America, we're not free or whatever, or we have been slaves or whatever. Those people, they will easily get fooled. And then I hope that people will be smart enough that they have want to just twist around the Amendment 13 for the United States, tossing around the King of Spain around, that if they vote yes, we're screwed. But you people are very smart, because you guys have to fed up and says, oh yeah, you're gonna made a peace contract, peace treaty with these folks, with these people, that soon they were planning to toss the King of Spain around, to blame the King of Spain, to demonize George Washington. Back in 1965, they have never said that stuff, but they are just fools, and then they just want to go and kiss somebody else's butt, and they're like ass kissers, and then that's how you have to be aware. The United States are even allies with Britain, and this is the reason why, if we are allies with these people that have oppressed us for so many years, then the thing is that they might unite another country, as we has helped them unite Germany, and Germany is not even part of us, of the United States. It's an independent country, while our allies, was like one of these countries might join in. They might even get more nukes, and then people, you try to believe this kind of stuff, and then believe me, for some of you people. But no offense to Korean people, if you are like saying, if you believe that this kind of amendment suits you and you voting yes, then you're a fool. You're like, you are just allowing this opportunity on blaming the Spanish government on the same thing. The Spanish government of the during the American Revolution time, the American Revolution era, on the same thing. You blaming the Japanese government of World War II. Something that is not just settling. Maybe this is made up. Maybe this is like, like there's prostitution everywhere. Prostitution is the oldest profession ever. Oldest profession ever. It has happened in China. Maybe one of these Chinese prostitutes, pass out with this blaming a pimp, and like some people, like there's pimps that are a bunch of jerks. So this is another thing of the yes on the Amendment 3. Amendment 13. Twisting Amendment 13 will be a Chinese man using a Japanese surname. This Mike guy. He might be a cheerleader for the yes. And then this is what it is. Alright, folks, just please, subscribe to my channel. We're gonna make some video. I'm gonna post some more videos, but this video is more to detail of what is going on, because if you want to watch one of these thing about these comfort women videos or sexual slavery videos during World War II, or things that might be made up stories by Chinese hoes, Chinese hookers of that period of the 1930s to 1940s, that you could, you go ahead, watch one of these in favor that says that it did happen, or videos that didn't happen. Even Jujiro Taniyama videos, or the one of them random Yoko videos that's singing about something about the, against these hookers of that era, and then this is what it is that you got to learn about these things. I have made some things about comfort women videos of that time, but then get ready for this, and then please subscribe to my channel, and then stay tuned, because I'm gonna talk about the hurricane. Bye.